These past 2 weeks have been spent developing the structure for the battle system, among other things. At first, I started out with an event-based system, invoking when spirits get buffed, take damage, things like that. That quickly devolved into nonsense, which caused me to start over and really rethink things. First and foremost, in any turn-based RPG, there are a string of actions that take place over one set of turns, which I'll call a round. These actions can be broad, such as player or opponent moves, but this felt restricting. I wanted to make the battle system as granular as possible, so adding and changing the flow of things wouldn't break the project entirely. After a quick trip to refactoring Guru, I decided that a combination of the iterator, command, and state machine patterns was the best course of action. We'll start with the battle command, a base command of anything that's queued to happen in a round. Take note of its execute function, and how it returns an enumerator instead of being a void function. This is the bread and butter of the battle system, and allows each turn to flow smoothly between actions. Enumerators allow for the use of the yield keyword. This tells the program to stop executing the function, and do something else until the specified condition is true. This prevents blocking the main thread, allowing us to perform other tasks instead. For example, say I told the battle system, hey, I want to scroll some text. The text will scroll on screen without freezing the program, and wait for the end of the message before performing the next command. The main reason I created the system this way is so I could have things happening one after the other, while still giving the player time to realize what's actually happening. When performing a move, it follows the expected structure of text, effect, damage to give both a coherent and satisfying feeling to using moves. Within the moves themselves is where the problem lies. Think of a simple damaging move from Pokemon like Tackle. It's simple to implement, just damage the enemy and move on. But what about a move like Double Edge, where it damages the enemy and then the player? Or moves that might buff the user after dealing damage, or moves that apply status effects and then buff the user. This gets out of hand rather quickly, and needs to be thoroughly planned out or else the entire project might become unusable. Let's take a step back and think of a move not as an instruction, but as a list of them. All the moves I just mentioned can be broken down into a list of smaller, single-use behaviors. Buff the user, damage the enemy, apply status effects. These are all modular, contained behaviors that can be appended to a single object in charge of executing them in the correct order. Now, instead of creating a new script for every move combination that exists, I can just make a new list of already defined actions and specify how I want them to appear. Something I'm really proud to show off is the custom editor I implemented for streamlined move creation. To create a new move, all you have to do is create a scriptable object and choose from a list of effects. If you're after an effect that doesn't exist, creating a new one is easy. Just inherit from the move effect base class and implement the apply method using the supplied turn context. These move effects get attached as sub-objects when created, and allow the developer to choose effect-specific values for each effect. In the case of the Fey move Maelstrom, the user damages the opponent with an all-out attack, hurting themselves in the process. Simply add a damage effect and a recoil effect, fill out the values, and you're done. This move system is nice and all, but what use is it if there's no one to perform them? It's time to add individual spirits, and this got complicated very fast. The spirit class contains its name, experience, stats, and learned moves. I took a page out of the Pokemon handbook and gave spirits individual values to calculate level up stats. This means that a level 30 Emeraldama with max IVs could wipe the floor with a level 51. The stat block can be thought of as the actual underlying data for the spirit. Its HP, attack, defense, and speed stats are all stored here and are used to calculate things like effect damage, resistances, and turn order. After a quick Google search, I found the way Pokemon does stat changes and decided it was a great implementation to use. It works by associating the specific stages of a stat change to a modifier value, and applying them to what the value would be unmodified. The move effects that modify stats simply raise or lower the stage, with the stat block updating accordingly. With all these pieces, we can finally put the battle system together. We'll start by entering the encounter. Once the encounter sequence is complete, the player is free to select a move. If the opponent is faster, it moves first, performing a pretty useless move. After the opponent's speed is lowered, the player can move first. Excited by this, the spirit goes all out, hurting itself in the process. After one final strike, the opponent is defeated. This is where things like level ups or end of fight rewards would go, once implemented. There are tons of changes that I haven't mentioned, but I'll bring them up in future videos. Thanks for watching.